Hi, and thank you for joining us today on the Road to Recovery. I'm your host, Rhonda Jackson, serial entrepreneur and small business advocate. And today, we have as our guest Miss Alisha Madison, CEO and founder of Bella Network. Welcome, Alisha.
Well, thank you, Rhonda. I am so happy to be joining you today. I'm excited about this.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, to start off, for the emerging and established entrepreneurs that are not familiar with Bella Network, will you introduce the company and tell us a little about it?
Sure. So, the Bella Network was an organization that was founded on the premise that we want to help elevate women to lead and expand in their businesses and careers on a global perspective. And we wanted to give women access to each other. It's the creation of a tribe so that we understand what trust really means and how to support each other. So many of us think that we have to walk this road alone, and that's not true. And it also gives us an opportunity to meet women outside of our normal day-to-day, either industry or concept of business. So it is just a fabulous place to get to know women and learn from them.
I love that. And your organization has been a catalyst for connections and synergies and not even networking. I wouldn't even call it networking. I'm going to call it a sisterhood. Because
it's a sisterhood,
yes. Very much a sisterhood. And I love how you put that about us not being on this road alone. So I'm going to call it now, just because of you, it's going to be the caravan. This is the Road to Recovery Caravan, because no one is here alone. If you're an emerging entrepreneur that would like to go to established that wants to go into overdrive, you are in the right place. So thank you again for doing that. So I usually like to start the show by asking guests for one word that they would use to describe now. What would you use to describe today?
Wow, that's such a great question. What one word would I use to describe now?
Yes.
You know what? I would choose the word choice. To choose.
Okay.
The word choose. Yeah.
Why
and the reason why I like that is there's an India Arie song, and it's I choose. And to me, every day you get an opportunity to choose how your day is going to go, what you're going to decide, what opportunities you're going to take advantage of. And you get to choose that. Don't let anybody else do that for you. So that word to me is perfect for the environment that we find ourselves in.
Oh, no, that is beautiful. I Choose by India Arie. Okay, I do. I choose today, right now on this show, Alisha. I choose.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So one of the reasons why you were selected as a guest for today's show specifically is because of your sense of community. And I consider you like a well, and whatever resource, whatever person that needs to be introduced or marketed to, you seem to have access or know of the person to have access. So I wanted to talk about business owners and how we can develop and further refine our sense of community. Okay. You mind doing that? And I know.
Yeah. And so one of the things that I always try to impact people with is the concept of, when you are going about building relationships with people either in your industry, you also need to look outside what you're familiar with in your industry. And that's about creating opportunities. So the environment that we find ourselves in now, if you only knew people that were in your current industry or the environment that you currently reside in, you're limiting the opportunity now to take advantage of new opportunities because you don't have those resources already aligned.
Yes. Okay. So I hear you talking about almost like a diversification of what you have going on. So now, though, in light of civil unrest, in light of pandemic, and the way that we've kind of been tossed together, what would your definition of diversity be?
So diversity, when you look at it, a lot of us think it's skin color, or it has to do with, when you look at people, you can quickly see what that looks like. But diversity is more diversity of thought. It's diversity of learning. It's diversity of the impact that you can make. And so start to expand. I mean, diversity and inclusion is you want to be included in things other than where you used to be included. So allowing your company to see other opportunities, other directions that you could take. And so diversity, when you're diversifying yourself, you're diversifying with people you know, what resources you're leveraging. And so then it opens up a floodgate of new opportunities.
New opportunities. So then, okay, so we're diversifying that community, right?
Exactly.
And then I think in some of our pre-conversation, we talked about things that would you need in order to what to do with that community once you've built it, right? So you're not just
Right.
collecting business cards. What needs to happen next?
You know, and this is really important because so many of us are used to doing things the way we've been taught over time. And so that would be, you know, we get a business card, but it's more than that. First of all, and the first thing, most people don't know how to retool themselves in a way that they can not only use that business card from the perspective of what you need, but then looking at it from, well, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do in the future? How do I need to expand what I know and what I'm doing and the people that I'm leveraging? And so even though that business card may not be something you can directly use now, how are you going to frame it so that you're making connections with other people so that you can leverage that person or that company in the future?
So you made an interesting talk about that. And I want you to talk a little bit more about those connections, right? So a lot of these connections, you mentioned choice and opportunity and positioning. How does all that conversation work together with the network and community as you're building it?
So what we do with as a part of the Bella Network is we create environments where people can start to teach and share and connect with each other such that they can see where partnerships can start to be built. And so as a part of your retooling, one of the critical things that you need to do with this new environment is to figure out where you can leverage other organizations, other businesses to create strong partnerships. And one of the things that I tell people is instead of looking for the partners that you already know and that you're familiar with, introduce yourself to people, either leveraging your Rolodex that you have or the people that you currently know about. But look at them from a brainstorming perspective instead of going directly to them and saying, hey, let's partner on this.
Let's do that.
Start to brainstorm with people or groups of people and then come up with the idea of how to partner.
Well, I think you mentioned it earlier. You said diversity of thought. So how come
Exactly.
together you've got someone that's good in different areas of the business or of the opportunities that are available with, you know, just the change in the economic climate. So now you're getting someone that's looking at things from different perspectives.
Different perspectives, creative perspectives.
Which I actually hear you saying adds value to now the opportunity. So instead of
Yes.
being this solopreneur, if you will, and only being able to, you know, come at an opportunity from one side, now you have this more global, more holistic opportunity and create more value for the client. I like that.
Yes.
I like
And
that.
then that allows you to be a stronger partner when you're partnered. You know, when you look at statistics, companies that have more than one, so they have at least 3 to 5 people that are affiliated or companies affiliated,
Okay.
do better than solo entrepreneurs or solo business owners.
Ah, okay. So even so, then here's maybe a tip for business owners that are sole owners or single owners is to create maybe those virtual advisory boards, right? So to
Yes.
create that environment of diversity of thought, even if you're not committed to a partnership for an opportunity, at least you're evaluating and assessing your business from a more holistic approach, is what I hear you saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's critical with that too is when you're going for funding or you're looking for people to offer you funding, they're going to want to see who's on your team. And if you're a team of one, you're not a viable business to them because if you get run over by a bus, the business is over,
Mm,
right?
yes.
And then also you need to start thinking about your succession planning because as a CEO, as a business owner,
Yeah.
you should want to be a part of the vision. So if you're a solo entrepreneur, that means that you're doing all the work as well. And you can't be visionary. You can't be creative because you can't do all of that at the same time. So
Yeah.
you need to have a team, either a team that reports to you as a part of your business, an advisory board that assists you with the creativity and understanding how to lay out the framework, but it has to be more than just you.
More than just one. Okay, I love that. And you make me think, and I know I've quoted this before, that African proverb that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go
Yes.
far, go together.
Go
So
together.
we've created community. We have diversity of thought. We're building our virtual advisory boards from here on out. What's
Mhm.
one of the, in the community, what's one of the lessons learned, or what have you heard people really sharing some of those aha moments? What's one specifically that stands out to you right now?
So the thing that people really need to make sure they're doing for as a part of their business is you need to go and update your capability statement
Ooh,
and really start to look at how you can expand that. And hopefully you're doing it with partnerships, partnerships that can also allow you to go after some corporate money. I mean, I think in a previous discussion I've had with you, we talked about all these different organizations that are opening up the doorway for, diverse companies to come in. And when they look around, they're not seeing those companies. So here's the opportunity to
yes.
choose a new direction to take your company in. So you get to choose that opportunity. But I tell you, go find the right partners by
Yes.
finding creative people that you can brainstorm with and come up with that right idea. Because the money is there now for us. Companies are saying that they are ready to
Mm,
open the doors for us. We just have to be ready to step in.
to walk through them.
And you can't do it by yourself.
I love that, Alisha. And I think what I also heard you say in that conversation is that the teaming and the partnerships and the collaborative effort actually help you as a business build capacity. So,
Exactly.
so on that
Exactly.
capability statement, now you have tools and tricks and trades and things like that that aren't necessarily on yours, but the value that you're adding together as a team, now your capability statement is enhanced. So I like
Yes.
that. Well, actually, probably, that's a really good suggestion, because I think we should do an episode on the capability statement for business
Yeah,
owners to rethink it with that retooled mind that you're talking about. So I like that.
exactly.
I like that.
And the last thing that I would just want to throw in there is the whole concept of emotional intelligence. It takes a lot of emotional intelligence to do the partnering. And so making sure as a part of the retooling that you really are doing your own self-assessment, your own self-management, all of those things that make you a strong leader because you have really good emotional intelligence and are able to deal with different types of people and
Mhm.
take both constructive criticism and feedback from others.
Okay, so now that's 2 episodes. Now we're going to follow up and have one on
Well,
emotional
don't let me
intelligence.
keep talking because I will have
No,
50
but
episodes.
actually, you know what? I value that. That was one of the reasons the show was created, is to bring a knowledge base that may not be as readily available. I mean, I have the
Yeah.
luxury of having your cell phone number, but but for other business owners, emerging and established business owners that haven't built their advisory board, that haven't built
Yeah.
the team, that diversity of thought, here's an opportunity for them to click into a show, grab the sound bites and put it into practice in their business. So that is
Yeah.
wonderful, Alicia. And I also liked how you talked about like being in the room and collaborating together. You make me think of one other saying. They say either you're at the table or you're on the menu.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Or
really,
you already been lunch because they've already thrown you out with the trash.
you're gone. You're gone.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really appreciate the conversation and the points that you brought up today. This was a wonderful discussion. Thank you. And I hope that you will accept the invitation to join.
Oh my gosh. Anytime.
You share with us the website or contact for Bella Network for those who are
Yes.
interested.
So the Bella Network, you can find our website at www.thebellanetwork.com.
Share the link so I can include it in the description box below for
Yeah.
people. But I
So
remember when you first came up with the Bella Network, so that was just part of that visionary track of yours, and hearing about what you were trying to do and to see it in fruition and in full effect is so beautiful. So beautiful. And in the light of the current conditions of the world today, it
yeah.
sounds like the perfect deposit that any woman owned or entrepreneur would need right now. So that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you again, Alisha, for being on with me today.
Thank you. Thank you. And you have a fabulous show. Great idea. Great concept. Yes.
Thank you. See, if it wasn't for the support of my community, of my tribe, so we appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you.